All right. Good morning, sisters and brothers. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today, Matthew's chapter 18, verse 19 through 35. And sisters and brothers, it is correct. I'm only doing 20 or 30 minutes. That's it. It's not about how long you go, it's about the word. And we need to understand this. Okay? It's about the word. Either you gonna get it or you ain't. But that's the way it is now. We're going to do about 20 or 30 minutes, and that is it. We're going to keep it moving. Okay. Now, remember these disciples who later will be apostles, they will be in charge of the church. Jesus is teaching them many things. And that's why I say the keys of the kingdom is the teachings of Christ, which come from the Father. He's teaching them many things. And so once they understand the truth, whatever they are encountered with after Christ is gone, then they will know how to handle it because he taught them everything. Okay. And this is what it is about, putting the Lord's church in order and keeping it that way. Okay. Verse 19, let us continue. And then, of course, we read 18, where whatever is bound on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever is loosed on earth will loosed in heaven, which just simply means, sisters and brothers, whatever these apostles accept according to the teaching of Christ, it will be accepted in heaven. Whatever they reject will be rejected, not just on earth, but in heaven. So it's not that hard. Verse 18. Now he's going to teach them something else now. Verse 19. Again, I say unto you that if two of you, servants of God, servants of Christ, I say unto you that if two of you agree on earth, and he's breaking it down right here, what verse 18 means. And it ain't just about this one subject. It could be about anything. So he's letting you know what it means right here in 19. Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father, which is in heaven. So we see the Father and we see these apostles working together. So we got the apostles on the earth, and we got the Father in heaven working with the apostles, working with the church. Verse 20. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there shall I be in the midst of them. So even Christ is there, sister and brother. And first of all, I want to say this. When he say two or three gathered on earth in my name, asking anything, he's not talking about y'all asking for a Cadillac. He's not talking about y'all asking for a mansion. He's not talking about y'all asking for some money to go on a cruise. No. Y'all are asking him to deliver what you need to benefit the church. Now, we remember when these apostles, they experienced some trouble with the religious leaders who told them, don't you preach, don't you do nothing in this name, or we're going to punish you. And what did those apostles do? They all came together as touching and agreeing and asked in heaven for boldness. And those individuals who asked God for boldness, touching and agreeing, coming together, asking this of heaven, asking this of the Father, what happened? The Bible say the place was shaken and they were all filled with boldness. So this is what he's talking about, binding and loosing. Whatever you ask of heaven, as long as it's about building up the church, building up the kingdom, the Father gonna be right there working with y'all. And Jesus say, well, 2 or 3 are in the midst. He say, I'm right there with you too. So this is a work. This is kingdom work. And who's all involved in the work? The Father, the Son, and those in the church working together. So we got to understand this, sister and brother. It's all about building up the kingdom, building up the church, building up Israel, whatever you want to say. This is also about who the apostles accept and who they don't. The Father and the Son going to be right there on their behalf. And it also works the same way with remitting sin and retaining sin. Heaven working with the saints on earth, sisters and brothers. It's very simple. You ain't going to find this term bind and loose nowhere else in the new book. Because it is simply a figure of speech. Heaven is working with the saints on earth to build up this kingdom. And instead of building up the kingdom, all of the saints today are looking up to heaven, hoping that the sky crack. But the Bible say, Jesus said, but blessed is that man or woman that he find working. But instead of working, they looking up into heaven, looking for the sky to crack. Waiting on Moses and Elijah. Them men done did their job. Well, brother, we're going to just wait on Christ to come and do it all. Christ already did his job. The apostles, the prophets, they already did their job. The question is, sister and brother, when we going to do our job? The question is, when we going to do our job? We don't plan to do nothing. That's why we looking up into heaven, waiting on the sky to crack, and it ain't going to never crack. Because he gave us a work to do. And until we do it, we going to die in misery in Babylon, each generation. Now, I put a lot on the table right there. Let's see if anybody pick up on that. Why do you think Christ ain't returned yet? Until the church do their job, the Father and the Son gonna let Israel remain in misery generation after generation. They waiting on the sky to crack. I said something the other day, and somebody put on there, yeah, the kingdom will come. What? The kingdom is here now. You supposed to be building it. So that lets you know, sisters and brothers, this mentality is ingrained in us. We waiting on Jesus to come back and do it all when he already done his work. He waiting on you to do your work. Let's continue. And these ain't to throw no rocks, sisters and brothers, but our people got to wake up. Like I've said before, the real work is outside of the church. You didn't see the prophets and Jesus and the apostles inside a building. The true work, sisters and brothers, is outside of the church. And until we understand that, the Father and the Son is prepared to leave us in this captivity for as long as necessary. Now, I just said a whole bunch right there. I'm going to see if anybody going to pick up on it. Verse 21. Well, Brother Reggie, that ain't going to never happen. Yes, it will happen. How did he get the apostles to move? When he left, the apostles were hanging around Jerusalem. All the saints, they wasn't doing that. How did he get them to move? Thank you, Sister Chloe. That's how he going to get us to move too. Verse 21, let's continue. Then came Peter to him and said, so we got another one now. Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me? And I forgive him? Till 7 times? How many times he gonna sin against me and I gotta forgive him? 7 times? Listen to what Jesus say, verse 22. Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee unto 7 times, but unto 70 times 7. That's 490 times. So it's pretty clear here. Jesus wants you to forgive your brothers and sisters, no matter what they do to you. And he wants you to forgive them. Oh, no, I don't know if I could do that, brother. Well, that's what I'm telling you. We're a long ways. We're a long ways from fulfilling the will of God, sister and brother. We are on very dangerous ground. We are on thin ice because our mind has not been renewed as of yet. All we have been doing is like our ancestors, and that's lip service. We are not prepared to do this. That's right. He's sinning against you 490 times in a day. I want you to forgive him 490 times in a day. See, this is the will of God, sister and brother. This is a renewed mind. This is a mind that loves his brother and his sister. We way away from this mindset. Something we need to think about. Verse 23. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven like unto a certain king, which would take an account of his servants. Let me see what my servant's been up to. And when he had begun to reckon, one brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents. Wow, got a servant that owed him 10,000 talents. And back in the day, sisters and brothers, you had to pay. Ain't none of this stuff about you not answering the phone and you ducking and dodging calls. And Let's see what they used to do back in the old days. Verse 25. But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife, and children, and all that he had, and payment be made. That's the way it was back in the day, sister and brother. You didn't just run up credit cards like they do today and then get mad when the people call you and say, where's my money? But let's keep with the story, because Jesus is teaching them all of this stuff so they know how to handle themselves when it's time to make decisions in the church. Verse 26. The servant therefore fell down and worshiped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. I want you to listen to the mindset, sister and brother. He didn't want him and his family to be sold. So he worshiped this man. He asked the man to be patient with him, and he'll pay him all his money back. Listen to this man. Verse 27. Then the Lord of the servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt. So the king just forgave him the debt. Hey, don't worry about it. He will move with compassion. He said, I ain't going to sell you and your family, and I'm going to just forgive the debt. Now watch this mindset. This is what God is warning us about. Remember what Peter asked, how many times should I forgive my brother when he's sinned against me? Verse 28. But the same servant, that same servant that was forgiven the debt, that same servant that begged for mercy, but the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants which owed him 100 pence. Now this sucker owed 10,000 talents. He went out and found somebody just owed him 100 pence. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat. This is the same sucker that begged for mercy from the king. And he took his fellow servant by the throat, saying, pay me that thou owest. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, just like he besought the king. His fellow servant is besoughting him now, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Watch this wicked servant. 30. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. 31. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, somebody standing by saw what he had done, they were very sorry and came. And these men, they came and told unto the Lord all that was done. Yeah, you remember that wicked servant that you forgave all that debt? Yeah. Well, he had a man owe him 100 pence who besought him to forgive him and he would pay him everything, but he would not, threw the man in prison and everything. They telling it all. Let's see what's going to happen. Verse 32. Then his Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt because thou desiredest me. Should have not thou also had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? Verse 34. And his Lord was wroth and delivered him to the tormentors till he should pay all that was due unto him. Verse 35. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. So you see, sisters and brothers, all of that sin, all of that evil that you did all your life, you asked the Lord to forgive you. You asked the Lord to have mercy on you, and he forgave you. And then all of a sudden, somebody done you wrong. They asked for your forgiveness, and you pretty much spit on them. I'll never forgive you. I don't want nothing to do with you. You trash. You dead to me. Get out of my face. Don't you come back. Is this not the mindset of our people, sister and brother? God forgave you of the evils and the wickedness that you have done, so you better forgive your brothers and sisters when they do something against you. I don't care who it is. Yeah, I know I just did something to you about 2 hours ago, but will you forgive me? Yes, I will, bro. So, sisters and brothers, all of these things that God is teaching the apostles, he expects them to carry it out after he's gone. They have his teaching. They know what he expects. They know right from wrong. So therefore, what they accept on earth will be accepted in heaven. And that they reject on earth will be rejected in heaven. Because they know his will and they know his ways. I point these things out, sisters and brothers, because I know many of us, our mindset is nowhere close to what we're reading right now. So we need to get our mind right. We need to get off this Babylonian juice. And we need to start reading this book. And we need to take on the same mindset that Christ had when it comes down to our brothers and sisters. And because we're not doing it, sisters and brothers, look around at our people. Because we're not doing it, look around, sisters and brothers. Not just Israel that's on the streets out there, but even Israel in the church. Look at it. It's one big old mess, even in the Israelite churches. Because we refuse to take on the mind of Christ. Okay, sisters and brothers, I'm done for today. I hope you guys got some understanding. God willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Lord's Sabbath day. Peace, Israel.